Twilight fell like molten silver over the city, bleeding through the shattered windows of a cathedral long abandoned. Shadows pooled in corners, thick and heavy, clinging to the cracked stone like ink spilled across ancient parchment. Among them moved figures whose presence both unsettled and fascinated, angels cast out of heaven. Their once glorious wings reduced to ragged, feathered reminders of what had been lost. Each step they took left a faint, almost imperceptible trace of light. Ghosts of their former divinity struggling against the darkness of the mortal world. Arender, the eldest among them, paused atop the cathedral steps, letting the wind whip at his tattered cloak. Once, he had held dominion over storms and fire. Now the gusts seemed almost indifferent to him, buffeting his form but refusing to heed his command. Beside him, two others, Leora, with eyes that glimmered like molten amber, and Kale, whose shadowed smile concealed a mind honed in cunning, watched the city below, sensing the pulse of temptation that ran like a river through its streets. Humans, blissfully unaware, carried desires that might fell kingdoms if only they knew how to wield them. The prophecy had haunted them for centuries. When the fallen walk among men, the world's fate shall hang by the thinnest thread of mercy or ruin. They had hoped to avoid its weight, wandering the earth in secret, feeding on whispers and the remnants of their own pride. But even diminished, angels do not fade so icily. Arender felt the tingle of power stir in his fingertips when he brushed against a neon sign across the street. Feeling the hum of energy in the air, a reminder that divinity, even fractured, still held sway. Humanity, however, was a dangerous tutor. Leora drifted through a crowded market, her gaze tracing the lines of faces illuminated by gaslight. She inhaled the scent of roasted chestnuts and candle smoke, allowing the mundane desires to brush against her own long-suppressed cravings. A merchant offered her a silver pendant, claiming it brought luck to those who wore it. Her fingers lingered on the charm, an echo of temptation she had once mastered in heaven, but could no longer command. Kale, on the other hand, navigated the alleys with practiced ease. He listened to the secrets whispered in the dark, the confessions murmured behind closed doors, and the bargains struck in the shadows. Each transaction, each unguarded human moment, revealed vulnerabilities the fallen could exploit or be ensnared by. Power now was subtle. Survival meant understanding the interplay of sin and desire, delicate art of persuasion without the full force of divine wrath. Their wandering brought them to the heart of a clandestine war between human factions, unaware of the celestial forces threading through their lives. Leaders whispered of dark emissaries and ghostly protectors, not realizing the truth. The fallen walked among them, their wings hidden beneath coats, their eyes veiled behind mundane gazes. Yet the prophecy pulsed through Arender's veins with a cold, insistent rhythm, urging them toward a reckoning they had avoided for eons. It was in the cathedral, where the fallen often gathered under the pretense of shadows and prayer, that the first crack appeared. A mortal child, unafraid of their presence, had entered the nave, carrying a book with pages that shimmered like starlight. Her curiosity was pure, yet dangerous, for she saw too much with untrained eyes. Leora knelt, recognizing a reflection of innocence she had not touched since her fall. Kale's grin faltered, and even Arender felt the stirrings of paternal instinct he thought had died long ago. "This child," Arender said, his voice low, "may tip the scales we've long tried to avoid." Leora's fingers traced the edge of the book. "Or she may illuminate the path we've feared to walk," she countered. Night deepened, clouds scudding across the moon like wings of fire. The angels of old, once harbingers of judgment, now faced the paradox of mortality, the hunger for connection and understanding tempered by the knowledge of their own capacity for destruction. Every heartbeat in the city below carried temptation. Every sigh was a thread to unravel, and every spark of human ambition was both beacon and trap. The first act of defiance came quietly. Kale reached out, not with the authority of heaven, but with the fragile persuasion of a creature who understood fear and hope in equal measure. He guided a mortal politician from ruin, altering the balance of power subtly, as one might redirect a stream without disturbing the riverbed. Leora followed, nurturing, teaching, yet constantly wrestling with the whispering shadows of desire that sought to draw her into ruin. Arender, ever the sentinel, watched the skies, listening to the faint echo of celestial command long abandoned. knowing that even diminished, the angels' choices bore weight the world might never forgive. In the weeks that followed, the fallen learned the cost of their path. Each act of mercy frayed a part of their pride. Each indulgence in mortal temptation carved a scar into their wings. Yet the prophecy was not simply a warning. It was a test, a measure of their capacity to navigate the razor's edge between redemption and ruin. And as they walked the streets, unseen yet felt, they realized that being fallen did not mean being powerless. It meant understanding the delicate, perilous beauty of a world where humans and angels alike were capable of both salvation and destruction. As dawn broke over the city, spilling pale gold across rooftops and shattered spires, the fallen gathered once more in the cathedral. Their wings, ragged yet iridescent, stretched in unison, catching the first light. About the prophecy lingered, a hum beneath their bones. A reminder that the choices they made in shadow shaped the fates of those beneath and beyond them. Arender's gaze swept over the city. "We may be fallen," he whispered, "but we are not lost. Yet." Leora smiled faintly, a ghost of sunlight in her amber eyes. "The world has not yet judged us. Let us hope it never does." And as the angels of old vanished into the waking streets, their presence both unseen and indelible, the city exhaled, caught between fear and awe, silent testament to the enduring, uneasy power of the fallen ones.